It is my pleasure to introduce my dear friend, Andrea Joy Campbell, Attorney General for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Persevering through tremendous hardship and loss, Attorney General Campbell has dedicated her life to creating a more just society for all citizens of our great Commonwealth. In November 2022, the people of Massachusetts elected her to the position of Chief Law Enforcement Officer. Prior to assuming her current position, Attorney General Campbell represented Boston's District 4 on the Boston City Council. In her first term, very first term, she chaired the Council's Committee on Public Safety and spearheaded the effort to pass the Community Preservation Act, which generates millions of dollars annually for affordable housing, historic preservation, and open space in Boston. She also secured the first ever dedicated line item in the city's budget to fund youth development programming and the like. In 2018, her colleagues on the council unanimously elected her its president, making her the first black woman to serve in that position. Earlier in her career, Attorney General Campbell served as legal counsel to then Governor Deval Patrick and general counsel for the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission. In both positions, she advocated for improvements in several critical areas of everyday life, including transportation, healthcare, and education. The first in her family to graduate from college and law school, Attorney General Campbell began her legal career as a legal services attorney for the Ed Law Project. Here she defended the rights of children with disabilities and their families. Since she was sworn into office as Attorney General in January of 2023, Ms. Campbell has relaunched several new units within her office, including the Gun Violence Prevention Unit, the Elder Justice Unit, and the Productive Justice Unit. She has also secured tens of millions of dollars in settlements with companies guilty of fraud, wage theft, and child labor law violations. In April of this year, just last month, her office hosted the 13th Annual National Cybercrime Conference, bringing together more than 1,000 law enforcement officers, prosecutors, and investigators from around the country for a one-of-a-kind training experience. This conference had a timely focus on artificial intelligence. The three-day conference equipped attendees with the skills they need to more actively and professionally create cyber crime and prevent such crime. New England Law, Boston, is pleased to present an award to Attorney General Andrea Joy Campbell, an honorary degree of laws, in recognition of her personal resilience and her unwavering commitment by creating greater opportunity for everyone in Massachusetts. Attorney General Campbell.
Attorney General Campbell, as Chairman of the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws with all its privileges and responsibilities.
check the time. Oh, it is good afternoon. The morning has gone, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I don't know about you, but I'm on a celebration to celebrate the class of 2024, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I first want to thank Trustee Wayne A, not only for your kind words, your introduction, and I'm deeply honored to this incredible institution of New England Law for this honorary degree, and to receive it with those who received it with me, who are in their own right incredible lawyers and justices. I am equally honored not to be here, but for Wayne Budd to deliver this to me, because he has been a friend and a mentor, and in many ways is a legend in his own right. So thank you very much. Acting Dean DeSias, Assistant Dean Pilgrim, Chairman Balboni, members, of course, of the Board of Trustees, New England Law School professors, staff, students, graduates, your family and friends, thank you. It truly is an honor and privilege to be here, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with all of you to celebrate the New England Law Class of 2024. And while I'm deeply humbled to share this day with you, I absolutely know that this day is not about me, or frankly, any of us. It really is about these outstanding graduates. So first and foremost, congratulations to the class of 2024. Your peers, of course, your professors, your mentors, your family, friends are all here today cheering you on, because what you have accomplished is indeed special and significant. So I invite you to not only take it in right now, but to really take it in all day today. I also want to thank your supporters, your family, your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, your aunties and your uncles, your cousins, your caregivers, and so many more, because none of us gets to a place of success by ourselves. So please join me in applauding for them and all the support they offer you on this journey. Law school is no easy feat, and all of you took different paths to get here. Some of you entered as young adults right from undergrad. Some of you entered later in life after raising families or switching careers. And some of you did it while balancing full-time jobs, caregiving, and other responsibilities. Let me quickly paint a picture of this incredible class of 2024. It's a group of hard-working, passionate, 22 to 49-year-olds, future lawyers, and change makers. It's folks who completed their degrees as part-time students, evening students, full-time students, and international students. A graduating class that is 62% female. 34% first generation. And 64% from outside of Massachusetts, but who now will forever call this great Commonwealth their home. Representing a diverse cohort of communities from all across our Commonwealth, this country, and the world. And while you got here going through different paths, or along different paths, all of you did it during a pandemic, during extremely difficult times, including a deepening political divide in this country, and an international war that is collectively traumatizing all of us, as we see innocent civilians, including children, killed and taken as hostages. And maybe at times you felt a sense of powerlessness. Well, let me tell you that in the midst of these trying times, you do have power. You had it prior to, yet now I know you are equipped with a powerful tool to transform oppressive systems that don't just harm some, but harm all of us. Your law degree is that tool. And I would venture to say that at no other time has being a lawyer and holding a law degree been more relevant than in this moment in time. It will be the lawyers that protect our First Amendment rights. It will be the lawyers that protect our rule of law and our democratic institutions. It will be the lawyers that protect our access to health care. It will be the lawyers that protect our consumers, our elders, our kids against the risks of technology. It will be the lawyers that ensure our society lives up to our constitutional principles, including those within our Massachusetts Constitution, which, by the way, is the oldest constitution currently effective in the world. But it will be the lawyers that ensure every resident is truly guaranteed liberty, opportunity, safety, and happiness. And there is something to be said about the fact that you are graduating on the anniversary of two legal milestones. The 20th anniversary of same-sex marriage in Massachusetts. The first same-sex marriage in the state was held on May 17, 2004. And you are also celebrating on the 70th anniversary of the Brown versus Board of Education decision. Ruled that separating children by race in schools was unconstitutional. Indeed, it will be the lawyers that continue to protect, advance, and celebrate the civil rights for all. Going on around you right now and more than before. But with your law degrees in hand, you have the power to make change a reality, to make progress a reality, and to make a world better for you, your families, and your communities. And change at different levels, whether from the ground up or the top down, being on the front lines or influencing policy. The law is a powerful, all-encompassing tool. It's a tool that can dismantle and transform systems that have been centuries in the making. Systems designed to perpetuate economic, social, and racial injustice, where the rich at times seem to be getting richer and the poor seem to be getting poorer, where opportunity gaps seem to be widening in our communities. It's a tool that can reverse course and stand up for a woman's right to choose. It's a tool that can stand up for all of our civil rights. It's a tool that can fight for a society that is free from senseless gun violence. And it's a tool that can also make sure we are free from existential environmental threats. So yes, you now hold this tool and unique power to use your law degree to address these seemingly insurmountable challenges and so much more. And you can indeed make a difference. I not only know this because I have the honor and privilege of serving as your Attorney General, and an opportunity every single day to use the law to promote and implement these values for our residents. But I also know it to be true because I think my very success is an embodiment of these constitutional principles, the foundational idea that we all deserve equal opportunity, an opportunity to heal, to grow, and to thrive, and to reach our true and full potential. Nearly 17 years ago, I'm still young and fabulous. I graduated from UCLA Law School, and I brought myself back from sunny California back home to Boston. And while I was in law school and after graduating, I had no way of knowing where I'd be today. I had no political aspirations, very few dreams and aspirations other than to get a great job, afford to pay rent, and to succeed, whatever that meant. I also had a big question top of mind, yet found it at times to be daunting. What was one to do with their law degree? Coming from a poor background, at the beginning for me it was to strive for money and economic stability. Indeed, there is no doubt that I have been blessed beyond belief. Yet the journey to realize those blessings was not always a straight path. And in fact, I learned that it is the road to the blessings, the unexpected and sometimes expected bumps and curves along the way. That's the road to the blessings. You see, my upbringing was filled with incredible instability. When I was 8 months old, my mom actually died in a car accident going to visit my father, who was incarcerated at the time. And my father was incarcerated for the first 8 years of my life. So my brothers and I, we bounced around, we sometimes lived with relatives. And at moments in time, when our grandmother struggled with alcoholism, we lived in the foster care system, and then would be returned to her. We grew up poor in public housing in Roxbury in the South End. And if you're from Boston, you know you have to name every neighborhood you ever lived in the city of Boston. My father would be released when I was 8 years old, and I would meet him for the first time. But sadly, he wouldn't live to see me graduate from college. When I was 19 years old, a sophomore at Princeton University, I spoke to him one morning. He died that same evening. The loss would sadly continue. My brothers would both cycle in and out of the prison system, and my twin brother Andrea would die as a pretrial detainee while in the custody of the Department of Correction, which oversees our prisons here in Massachusetts, when he was only 29 years old as a result of receiving inadequate health care. Through all of this, I found the courage, of course, to dig deep, and with significant prayer and the help of loving family, friends, teachers, professors, and mentors, was able to persevere and turn that pain into purpose. These trials and tribulations gave me the strength and most certainly the courage to take risks in life and in work, and to actually apply to law school. But it was my twin brother Andre's passing that would be the catalyst, a major, of course, and significant bump in the road, for me to ask the tougher questions, the more daunting questions. What was the best way to use my law degree? And not just for myself, but most importantly, to fulfill my purpose. What was my purpose in the world? Why am I here? I think each of us has a purpose that is unique, and frankly, if we each fulfilled it, can you imagine what this world would look like and be? That is the task ahead of you, graduates, is to figure out not only how you use your law degree, and not merely for yourselves, but for your purpose that is bigger than you. Every day I feel beyond blessed to work on behalf of others to ensure they too have access to the educational opportunities and mentorship and employment opportunities I had access to. The very opportunities that my brothers, sadly, and so many of my peers were not afforded. I do this work so they too, especially young people, can reach their God-given potential. This deep understanding that I am here, not to rack up accomplishments or lots of money, but rather for a purpose that is bigger than me and designed to serve, has led me to be on this stage delivering these remarks to you, and also led me to have the most meaningful and rewarding career in public service. Since graduating law school, I've worked, as folks have described, including Wayne, in the private sector at the moment. Actually left that behind, taking a leap of faith after my brother passed to figure out what was next. And when I left the private sector, I had no job lined up, so it truly was a leap of faith. but I would go on to work at a quasi-government agency and later work for Governor Deval Patrick. And then go on to become a city councilor representing largely Dorchester and Mattapan, and becoming city council president. And now an incredible job that I love every single day, serving as the 45th Attorney General of Massachusetts, the first woman of color to hold this seat, and the first woman of color to hold this seat. Okay, God bless y'all. And of course, my life's journey is not, I think, without many valuable and important lessons. And I'll emphasize just a few today. The first is the importance of courage, which without, I would definitely not be here. And as the great Maya Angelou said, courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. Indeed, courage is needed to tap into your power. It allows you to persevere. Trials and tribulations are part of the cycle of life, and if we view them as such, they may be the very components needed to develop our character and our resiliency, and to enhance and improve our strengths as we work to actually find our purpose. So I encourage you, graduates, to continually reflect on your life's challenges, the hardships, the blips in the road, because those experiences may be the very thing that gives you the courage and provides you the strength to persevere, to march forward and to march on regardless of your circumstances. To, for example, apply for that job you didn't think you were qualified for. To speak up against injustice and for those who are most vulnerable. To dismantle your own mental barriers and self-doubt, and to stand in your authentic self every day, everywhere. Personally, for me, it was and is a deep sense of faith and prayer, a connection to my community, and yes, therapy. Although my faith and my Bible are the foundation of my life, they are not a therapist. My bishop, he is not a therapist and does not have the professional tools to actually help anyone overcome trauma as it needs to be. All of these things coupled together enabled my resiliency and overcoming, allowing me to truly heal from trauma and to become the self-actualized person I am today. I also know, along with the individual personal challenges, you will also expect or experience collective societal challenges, where courage will absolutely be required to face. Folks today are facing many challenges unlike we've seen before. Social isolation, an ongoing mental health crisis, high costs of living and stagnant wages, collective trauma from violence overseas, including the wars in Ukraine and Gaza, a rise in Islamophobia, anti-Muslim hate, anti-Semitism, Jewish hate, anti-LGBTQ+ and trans hate, racism, and more, a rise in white supremacy, sadly, including right here in Massachusetts. This collective pain and trauma will require significant courage for us all to address, and it makes it both harder and at the same time far more important that we engage in thoughtful and respectful dialogue that makes room for our individual perspective while having the courage to make room for the perspective of others and respects the First Amendment rights, especially of our young people. These issues do take courage to face. While avoidance may be more comfortable, it will never push you to step out of your comfort zone. Being in the unknown, or I'll call it the courageous zone, allows for healing, overcoming, allows us to address these issues, but most importantly, helps you individually. It helps you to become the person you were meant to be, who you were meant to be, the person your God-given potential yearns you to be. The second lesson I think is really important is working and living with conviction, truly believing in what you do. As law school graduates, you're fighters and defenders naturally. However, you need to make sure you really believe in what you are fighting for and what you're working to defend, and hopefully do it with a moral compass and integrity. What is the foundation you stand upon? What are your values? What guides you every day? The choices you make, the career paths you shall choose. Everything I do is informed by a moral compass, a deep sense of faith, and a consistent exercise of that faith, and doing what's right, especially when it gets hard. This profession and what we're seeing unfold in this country, including what just happened in Texas yesterday, requires us to operate with conviction and morality more so than ever. And I don't know of a better profession to exemplify what that looks like than the legal profession and all of you. The third and final lesson, after you have called upon courage and are standing in conviction, is empowerment. Not merely for yourselves, and I think that's important. I think you need to wake up every single day, get your affirmations out, look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm young and fabulous, I'm amazing. I do it, because why not? Clearly, I guess some more of you need to do it, but graduates, I can't tell you, life is hard. That self-affirmation is critical. That empowerment of yourself is critical. As you go on to embark on careers and creative paths, some people may be standing in your way, but if you believe in yourself and feel empowered in yourself, it doesn't matter. But what's equally important is that you also work to empower others. You are graduating with a law degree. There's a lot of power and responsibility that comes with that. Some of you will practice law, some of you will become entrepreneurs, start businesses, run for office, become writers, take on creative pursuits, become professors, or do so many other things. Even if you don't end up actually practicing law as a lawyer, a whole new set of doors are open and available to you. You can apply your passion, your knowledge, your networks, all of this experience to any range of roles and professions. I encourage you to seek out and do what you're truly passionate about, what moves you, and what helps you to fulfill your purpose. But no matter what you end up doing, I hope that you use your position, your experience, and knowledge to uplift others. And I think when one is truly fulfilling their own purpose, it always involves serving others. As graduates of New England law, you will join a long tradition of pioneers, change makers, and as one of my team members said, empowerers, who represent the legal landscape of Boston and Massachusetts and attended the same institution. In 1923, you had Blanche Braxton, who became the first Black woman admitted to the Massachusetts bar, and in 1933, the first Black woman admitted to practice before the United States District Court in Massachusetts. This institution produced Dorothy Crockett, who became the first Black woman admitted to the Rhode Island bar in 1932. Both women graduated from then Portia Law School, which would eventually become and be renamed New England Law School in 1969. This school also produced Virgil Hopkins, who graduated from New England Law School in 1964. He came to Boston after being denied admissions to the University of Florida's all-white law school, solely because he was Black. He would later fight that decision all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and even when he won, Florida still refused to admit him. So he came here to get his education and made a compromise that would allow subsequent graduates to attend that very Florida law school. And last but certainly not least, this school also produced Leonard Lenny Zakim, perhaps one of Boston's greatest and most iconic civil rights leaders, who spent years fighting anti-Semitism Islamophobia, and other forms of hate and discrimination, fostering a world where all of us could live and thrive together in community. And there are so many countless others that sacrificed a great deal to afford all of us opportunity, who empowered us by their example, who ensured we had a legal system and a political system that reflected the demographics they serve. You stand on their shoulders. You are a part of their network, and you are an extension of their legacies. And I do hope you use your law degree and the tools at your disposal to empower others, and to do so with an unwavering moral conviction and radical courage, just as they did. And as your Attorney General, I, along with this community that is standing here in full support of you, look forward to continuing to support you along your journey. And I invite you also to keep an eye out for job openings at the AGO. We're constantly hiring incredible talent. So to the class of 2024, I, along with all who are sitting here, are extremely proud of you. We know great things await you, and as you continue to grow, to prosper, and to thrive, we support you. We can't wait to see what you do and what lies ahead. I hope it will be a beautiful and blessed journey. Thank you, and congratulations to the incredible class of 2024.